Good morning. Senator Hutchinson, Mr. Jones, Colonel Saunders, Mr. Goodley, Mr. Parrish, Mr. Brady, Ms. Wallington, thank you, ma'am, for coming. And most importantly, all the WASPs and their family here today for this special event in your honor. And happy Veterans Day to all the veterans in attendance today. I am thrilled to stand here before you, and I'm humbled and honored to be chosen to participate in this historic and long overdue event that pays contributions to the Women Air Force Service ballots, what you made to America when your country needed you most. Today we celebrate you and your amazing accomplishments that took place over 60 years ago. I'm sure many of you remember those days just like yesterday. You are great Americans from the greatest generation. And women like me and the other female airmen that came with me today from Randolph Air Force Base owe you a huge debt of gratitude. Sir Isaac Newton once wrote in a letter to a fellow scientist, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." That quote describes the history-making contributions of the women in the WASP that they made for all female aviators that followed. We are standing on your shoulders. We are able to pursue our dreams not only to fly, but to serve in just about every career in our U.S. military because you, ma'am, paved the way. You broke the barriers and were pioneers in an industry that most of the time were thought for men only. How appropriate we honor you today in the frontiers of Flight Museum. Your service in World War II established a new frontier. A frontier women aviators have been expanding ever since. But you were first. The first to prove that women had the aptitude, physical, and mental strength to pilot any aircraft in our inventory. The first to prove time and again how effective and successful Air Force and the aviation industry could be with all Americans participating. You broke gender barriers in much the same way that Tuskegee Airmen broke the race barriers at the time. And our nation is better for it more than 60 years later. I say again, today's female airmen stand on your shoulders, and we continue to go further because of your pioneering achievements. And thanks to the great leaders like Senator JackieO Hutchinson, your service to the nation and your legacy is immortalized among those other great Americans with the Congressional Gold Medal legislation. You truly deserve this honor. I don't know when each of you caught that flying bug way back when. Perhaps it was seeing what Amelia Earhart was accomplishing in the cockpit at the time when you were growing up as a girl in the 30s. For me, it started with a flight school that my father operated. I was around airplanes all the time, changing oil, fueling, washing them, and flying every chance I got. Because I grew up in that environment, I was fortunate to solo at 16, and then the very next day, I found time to get my driver's license. I skipped school on my 17th birthday and got my single and multi-engine private licenses. And when I turned 18, skipped school again, and earned my single and multi-engine flight instructor certificates. I was fascinated by all machines that even looked like they could fly. During this time, I was also captivated by the accomplishments of Sally Ride, our first woman in space in 1983. So when I got the chance to enter the Air Force Academy, I did set my sights on becoming an astronaut and following her footsteps. I even had the shirt, Ride, Sally, Ride. I wore that shirt out. I pursued that dream for many years and opened my eyes to countless opportunities available to the women in space and aviation fields. I watched as Eileen Collins flew the shuttle and later was the first mission commander. Now let me tell you, there are no glass ceilings in space. And while I didn't make it in the program, I was in awe of the progress women have made across all aviation career fields. Again, I would not have these opportunities if the WASPs in the early 40s had not proven that women are capable of being accomplished aviators. Because of you, women continue to excel. Women like Colonel Donald, my classmate. Not only did she get to fly the Wright Flyer replica, she flies and test pilots the F-22 Raptor. Obviously, Major Nicole Malachowski was the first woman pilot solo for the Thunderbirds. Again, they did fantastic work because of you. Almost 20% of the force in the Air Force are women, over 63,000 of us. Scary, huh? 18% of the officers are women, about 20% are enlisted. The women first entered pilot training in '76 and nav training in '77 and fighter pilot training in '93. Currently, there are 601 female pilots and 246 navigators. Those numbers are growing. and leadership opportunities are growing as well for women across the military. We celebrate 100 years of military flight in the year ahead, and the WASP were integral to our success at the century mark. As wonderful as the technology is in saving us time and money, our Air Force were built by people. People like you who built the legacy that we proudly carry on today. As we move forward into the next 100 years of military aviation, we honor you and your accomplishments in getting us to this point. We train hard, and we focus on taking care of ourselves and our families so we can do you proud as you watch your Air Force grow. You set the example for us, and we hope to make our way ahead with the same persistence and courage that you displayed in building our storied past. Who knows what the next 100 years of military aviation can take us? Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know this. Women will play a larger role than ever before. We are an integral part of the team, and we serve proudly as airmen today. You were the first to prove that. Thank you again for the opportunity to be with you today. I wouldn't miss it. Look forward to talking to you all later today. I wish you the very best in enjoying this wonderful day of honor for you, the WASP of America. Thank you.